Welcome, guys, to any episode of Rich and Rich FC. I'm your host, Rich, with my guy, Rich. We're back again for a new episode. Rich, how was your weekend?
Yeah, the weekend was up and down, up and down. You know, my Dristas, I don't know what's going on, but other than that, there was some good games overall. Some exciting games such as the City game. Arsenal and Chelsea was kind of all over the place, but you know, and
Yeah,
there were some other games. Aston Villa seems to be picking up too, so there are
bro.
some exciting games.
They are on the rise right now.
Yes, yes. They started off bad, not how you start, So
Yeah. Seems like they couldn't do anything in the beginning, but now they're on a roll. Top four, we can kind of say they're going to challenge for the title if they beat Arsenal next weekend.
I
So,
wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go.
hey, they're what, 27 points now? If
I
they beat
wouldn't.
Arsenal,
I wouldn't go that far.
but
I think after what we've been seeing the whole season, Arsenal are the clear favorites.
I mean, yes, Arsenal seems to be the clear favorite, but we know Arsenal now. We've seen them how they fumble the bag when it gets critical, even though they have a very deep squad. They are like have backups all over. Um, Saka can be out, Madueke steps in, Madueke is out, Saka steps in, Martinelli, Trossard, Gyökeres, Marino. They kind of have two players for each position.
Yeah, I think this is a different Arsenal in terms of what we've seen in the past, and they've kind of passed all the tests. When the top spot, you kind of like, you get close, then eventually you climb over that mountain. It's like climbing a mountain. So, the last couple of years they've been climbing, climbing, climbing. I think this year they'll get over the mountain as we see that, they have all the players, um, and the squad to do it. The manager has the experience and understand rotation, and obviously having two players at each position is valuable.
Yeah, because at one point we're like Odegaard cannot be benched. Then
Oh,
Isaac comes in, then it's like you don't really realize Odegaard is there, or like he's an
yeah,
option on the bench, or he's you know, it's like it's very seamless. When before Izzy, the kid in Nwaneri was in there, and they were working out. It seems like he takes one piece, puts another in, and it still works.
yeah,
Right
and
now,
also,
Saliba and Gabriel are out. Mosquera and Nkapi are doing the job. So, they kind of working, working really well, you know.
yeah, and also with that, what it does is it makes the squad very competitive. Because
hmm
obviously, if you get your chance, you need to take it. Because if you don't, someone else as talented as you is going to be motivated to work hard. So it
Yeah.
makes the squad very competitive, and they have different ways of also winning games. Um, Offensively, defensively, they're just very flexible in what they can do. And in any game they go to, I mean, surprisingly, they beat Bayern. I thought that would have been a much more competitive game, but they seem to find another gear. And these are like the top teams in the world. So it's not just Premier League. We're also looking at Champions League for them. So it's very exciting time to be an Arsenal fan after
I
all
mean,
these years.
with Champions League, it's tricky because you can kind of be at the top of the table now, doing the group stages and whatnot, but you can go to quarterfinals and get knocked out. So
Yeah,
it kind of depends. At the end of the day, they are showing that they have potential to win it all this
yes,
season, whether
yes.
Premier League or Champions League. But let's see if they have the mentality and the ability to do that. Because I don't think they have the bandwidth for both. But maybe when push comes to shove, they're gonna prioritize the Premier League ahead of the Champions League, even though they haven't won Champions League before.
Yeah, I think with Champions League, it's all about form going into those knockout stages. So obviously now you're doing good, but you want to peak at the right time. Because obviously the top teams they go through their ups and downs, but the main thing is just to be consistent and get the points and get in those knockout stages, and then at that time you want to peak. So it'll be exciting. But then after their after what they did with Bayern, they're one of the favorites of maybe one, two, three top three teams to be favorites to win.
Yeah. But let's see. Let's see how towards the end of the season, how they do. If they're still top of the table, which we expect them to be, how they're gonna cope with all those games played, and the intensity and competitiveness in the Champions League at that level. So let's see. Maybe they might be able to get over the line if they need PSG this time, or maybe Madrid is in good form. They can still beat them and win it. We'll find out. But
Yeah.
let's see how. Actually, let's talk about the game. Chelsea hosting Arsenal.
Mm,
Caicedo got a red card, very
yes.
reckless, but the game was very aggressive, intense. So I don't think that was a red card, but you cannot dispute if a red card was given. But overall, how do you see the game? Chelsea was able to score on them. So,
Yes. So I mean, playing against 10 men can be very difficult because it changes the balance of the game. Um, on one end, you're confident you're gonna win because you have a man advantage, but on the other end, the other team works twice as hard because they know they're down a man. And when Chelsea scored, I was like, okay, it was surprising because I didn't expect Chelsea to fight back so much, but
from a
even like
set piece, don't forget that.
yeah, so even at the start of the game, there was a lot of aggressiveness, especially from Caicedo. So
Yeah,
I guess going into the match, they wanted to be overly aggressive and kind of dominate through that
yeah,
method, but kind of backfired on them. But they got their goal, and eventually Arsenal tied. I expected more from Arsenal, but I think that also goes back to that mentality where, if you're trying to be a champion, you have to take a risk. So even like when I watch teams like Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid, when they're losing or they're tied, they'll
mhm,
take the risk to get the win. And sometimes they might even lose because they're pushing people up when they're tied, you know. So that's one of those things where you kind of have to calculate it. But on the other hand, I understand it's a 1-1 draw. You take a point. It's one of the competitive teams in your league. So yeah, it's not really a loss, and it's not a loss, but I would say I would have liked our Arsenal to be more aggressive and go for the win instead of kind of settled for the tie.
yeah. But looking at the game, it seems like even though Chelsea were down a man, you
Mhm.
always had the sense that Chelsea were going to score the next goal because they were,
Yeah,
even though they were down to 10 men, they were taking into Arsenal the whole,
yeah.
which was surprising because if you didn't know, you would think Arsenal are a man down.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But it also goes back to like um you kind of like relax because it's like you think you're gonna beat them and they're supposed to lay down for you. So I think that's what happened. And obviously Chelsea's a good team. Nobody's taking that away from them. But this year they've made a lot of mistakes with
Mhm.
getting red cards
Yeah.
specifically. So now this is like a trend that's been following Chelsea for the the whole season, let's say.
Yeah.
So on one end, Chelsea are have this thin of getting red cards. But so maybe they've learned how to play 10 men down, let's say.
I
But
mean, The last time they went a man down, Maresca panicked and, made a mess out
yes.
of it. So I think he learned this time.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those games too where it's like, we can afford to lose it and we'll rest our players and get ready for the next one. So each game is different, but obviously this one was very competitive and Chelsea looked like they could go on and win, but in the back of my mind, I didn't think Chelsea would win. Nevertheless, tie. So in that regard, it's a win for both teams.
Yeah.
Um, they're still in the hunt. Let's say.
Yeah. But let's go quick through the games during the week or during the weekend before we jump into the midweek games. Sunderland won against Bournemouth 3-2. Man City won 3-2 against Leeds. Now,
Mhm.
Man City, they're showing a certain trend that's not good, even though they're winning. It
Yeah.
looks like even though they have a very good goalkeeper in Donnarumma, they're
Mhm.
still kicking goals.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to explain, but offensively, they have all the talent needed. Phil Foden is starting to get back to his best, which
Mhm.
helps. So offensively, they're doing wonderful. They're able to put a lot of pressure with Doku. Doku's also picking up form
Yeah.
and actually producing. Um, so it's more or less defensive problems. Teams can get at them. I think the same thing Liverpool's kind of going through. The teams are no longer like afraid of them, where before, you go there, you just park the bus or hope they
Mhm.
didn't beat you like 5 or 4.
Yeah,
Now
catching a
teams are
counter
going
or
after,
something like that.
yeah, teams are going after them. So they were vulnerable in their back. And honestly, the right back and left back are both midfielders who kind of transition into those roles. And
Hmm.
then with Diaz, I don't know if he's fallen off but it seems like they're having a lot of issue defensively. And also their defensive midfielder is not so impressive, to be honest.
So you think they're just missing Rodri right now at his
Right,
board?
yes, bro. Rodri will help, but I don't know if that guy can ever get back to that Rodri, to be honest. He had a major injury,
Yeah.
and each time he seems to be trying to come back, he has another injury. So those are very troublesome since already you had an injury. And then when you try to come back on more than one or two occasions, you have setbacks. So there's something going on there. That's a big loss for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll talk more about City later on. Brentford won on Burnley 3-1. Newcastle beat Everton 4-1. Big Nick. Um, Fulham won away at Tottenham. Man United came back and won against Crystal Palace. Amorim is proving you wrong right now. So wrong right now.
The thing with when you have a team, you just want the team to be consistent and
Mhm.
to be able to deliver like the same performance, whether it's a win or a loss, right?
Yeah.
You just want to make sure you're also taking steps, okay? The thing with Man United is just a lot of unpredictability. You don't know if they're gonna do good or they're gonna do bad. These are the people that can beat Liverpool, and then they can lose to uh, Sunderland. But that's even bad because Sunderland is doing wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's say
Mm.
Burnley, they can lose to Burnley. So there's a lot of unpredictability with Man U that should scare their fans. And
Yeah.
they're front runners. So anytime they go down, it's like most likely they're going to be very, very bad. They don't have like the resolve to come back,
Mhm.
let's say, from losing positions. And also some of the players, their IQ is very low, especially the
Wow.
IQ is just low. I think who they played against. Was it Sunderland or it was the man down where they had an Everton. They
Mhm.
played against Everton, and Everton was a man down.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's like these at that point you don't need no coach to tell you what you should be doing or where you can find space.
That's true.
It was just the same thing. And they were making the same runs. And you could just see these people had no idea on how to even like combine and make one nice play to get a goal.
So they'll
I
just
was
only
just
start from training. Hmm.
shocked. I was shocked with especially Dogu. Zexi came back this week, but him, there was a lot lacking with
Yeah.
some of the players. Like the things that they were doing, I'm like, you 10 players would be doing this type of stuff that you guys are doing. So
Yeah.
hopefully they
They
can get better.
they kind of won that game based on individual brilliance, one from Mount and one from Zersky, but they got the 3 points, so they'll be
Their midweek game.
yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Oh yeah. Actually, their weekend game. Yeah.
yeah, the weekend game, yeah. Now we have Liverpool winning at West Ham, so that's
Oh,
that's a positive. However,
eh,
but yeah, that was good. Brighton won out Forest. Villa picked up a goal to win the game against Wolves, and Chelsea tied Arsenal at home. So that ends that week. And now midweek action, we have again Man City against Fulham.
yes,
The
yes.
game was a goal
Shout
fest.
out to Crazy.
Chukwueze came on and
Crazy.
showed Pep, you should have bobbed me. But to be fair, the game was City were on cruise control until they started
Too crazy.
conceding. Yeah,
Yeah, the True Crazy came on and tried
yeah.
to take the game
Because
for Fulham.
well,
But that's
halftime,
the
at halftime it was what?
that's I
One,
think
two, three, three goals at halftime.
yeah.
You know,
But I think that's the type of games we like to watch as fans. Not these boring games.
I
We
mean,
like the goals, excitement. You score, I score, all the way to the end.
yes, but also we can also expect Man City to like win the game comfortably,
They won.
especially when it was what 3-0 at half 3-1 at halftime. We're like, oh, they're gonna come back for 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah,
And they scored 5 and 6. I mean 4 and 5, and then they dropped off.
yeah. But that's what makes the leagues good. That Fulham can actually give City a scare and all those goals involved. So it was one of those games that you'll, as a neutral, you'll enjoy, especially if you're a Nigerian or a fan of Too
I
Crazy.
mean,
He just came in there and lit it up, you know. So
yeah, yeah. But yeah, they now looking at how City is performing, they're picking up
yeah,
points, so that's good. However, they are very frail in the back. And
yeah, they don't look like
games
champions.
where they can't score that many and they are able to concede, isn't that gonna cause them a problem? Because right now we can only see Man City challenging Arsenal for the title, right?
Yes.
So we want to see
Uh,
them be more stable.
So I would say I don't really think Man City can challenge for the title because of what we've been seeing with them defensively. Now, offensively, yes, they can score plenty of goals. They have all the talents, but there's a lot lacking. If you're saying that this team can compete to be champions, I would say no, because the back is bad. And I mean the goalkeeper is also helping them. So in the context, I would say they're not challenging, man, because if they don't fix that and we're not able to see, okay, because they barely beat Leeds, and that was like a 3-2 game. these are championship sides, basically. They're playing.
Yes,
And
but
Fulham has been in the uh, Premier League for a while, but they're not one of the better teams, and they were able to scare them. So, what happens when you're playing your Brentfords and your Chelseas and Arsenal, where they're gonna make it very hard for you? And
right.
obviously,
But as bad as they've been defensively, they're picking
mhm,
up the 3 points, and that's what matters, right? Now it only takes right now they are 5 points behind Arsenal. It
yeah.
only takes Arsenal one loss for Man City to really close the gap. And we've
Mhm.
seen Man City been in this position before, where they chase down teams at the top and overtake them and win the league. So
No, no, I disagree. So this is not the same city type of team that did that. That's the issue.
no, yes, that's true.
This team
However,
looks
they've done
most
it
like
before.
no, so this team looks most likely to lose points instead of gain points. You see, when you're watching, right, and every game is like it can go left or right,
That's
you
true.
know. So
That's true.
it's not like it's going right, and we're saying, okay, they look the part. They don't look the part if you're looking at it.
That's true. But they are still picking up points.
Yes,
So,
and
and that's the most important thing. Even if they, like the Fulham game, it was 5-4. If you added
yes,
10 more minutes, it would more likely be 5-5 or 6-5 against Man City. So they're kind of always praying for the whistle to go before it gets bad, right? But they're still
yeah,
winning.
yeah.
It's not
I mean,
sustainable,
not
but they're still winning.
yeah. I just don't think it's sustainable, and the optics of the win is like troublesome, especially if you're winning like 5-2. How do you let them come back and get so close?
Yeah.
Just keep the ball away. Don't keep away. Train it. That's all.
And that's something Man City used to be so good at.
I
Now
don't
we
know.
don't know if losing Rodri, KDB has caused them to get away from that.
Well,
But
it's good.
Reinders, Gonzalez, Turkey, they're good, pretty good footballers. They can hold the
Yes,
ball pretty well. Nunes is a midfielder. He can hold the ball. O'Reilly is a midfielder. He can hold the ball. You know,
yes,
so I don't know. I don't know what Pep is telling them or not telling them, but
yeah. It's
let's
yeah.
who's we'll
With
see.
City, it's like they're doing good, but it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah,
It looks like at any point they could have lost or tied those games. There's
that's
no point where you're like completely sure they're gonna win. So
yeah. But hopefully they can clean it up and do some damage, make this title race more exciting. Because Ateta is beating his master right now. But
yeah, 5 points. So
yeah, 5 points. Next is Everton going to Bournemouth.
mhm.
Everton won. Jack Grealish. Easy peasy.
Yeah,
1-0.
yeah. I mean, he's got obviously the freedom to play there. So and he's a star player. Now, he's one of those players who I'm not sure can be a star player on a big team, but at Everton, he's a star player, so he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. And I think David Moyes gave him the confidence to just express himself with
Well,
DI and Beto or Barry helping in the middle.
yeah,
I think
I
they're
mean,
doing their own thing.
if you look at all the players at Everton, nobody has as much accomplishment as Jack Grealish. So
I mean,
obviously, he knows he's better than all of them. So that
I
makes it
mean,
a lot. It's like big fish in a small pond. Yes.
plus Drew Brees is also doing well. He's a world champion, so but
Just Burden Hall isn't. by default. He did not even contribute one thing.
Hey, he's scoring goals though.
He's one of those players. I don't know if they are good or they are
He's
over
decent.
over overrated. I think
He's
it's
he's
overrated.
decent.
Yeah, he's decent.
He's
I
flying
don't.
under the radar, but he's decent.
Yeah,
And then next up we had Newcastle, Tottenham. That was the
yeah.
worst game I've ever seen.
Why?
You're so bad, both teams.
No, hey, Newcastle is getting points.
Yeah, but in this game they were so bad.
Yes, but Newcastle has been getting points for a while now.
So what
And
happened?
so with this Nick Ultimator guy, I didn't expect him to be this productive because we didn't even know about him till he got there for that much. So I mean, he's producing for the team and they're doing okay. They're getting points, so it's one
Yeah,
of those things.
they tied Tottenham, and guess who scored the goals for Spurs?
Kudus,
It wasn't Kudus. It
uh,
wasn't Colomwani. It wasn't Simmons.
Romario,
It was Romero,
yeah, top shotter.
a guy we
So
know to be very aggressive and very
yes,
yeah, red card. He's
World Cup winner.
scoring goals.
Yes, World Cup winner and captain.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
But what's wrong? What's wrong with Spurs though? What's wrong with Spurs? Because they have good players, individual good players. They
yes,
just can't do anything.
yeah. Maybe it's like a curse or something. Sometimes some teams they're not good.
Is it a
We have
coach at this point?
this coach is actually doing worse than Edge, from what I
I
saw.
mean,
In terms of the points that they've gotten. Now, in terms of how it looks a little bit different, but we don't know. I think he needs to do a lot of work with them.
what type of work? Who you gonna work with?
Hey,
Hey, they have
that's why they get paid millions of dollars, man.
mm, any team will take Poro in their side. Any team would take Kudus maybe. Kolonwani, I don't know about now.
He,
Abesar
he
was once a good player and a very exciting young player to watch.
he's he's decent player.
You know,
No, Spurs have a nice roster. I don't know what's going on in terms of why they're not able to get points and stuff. But I mean, they have a nice roster. The coach has been in the league and he's done good in the league. I don't know if it's confidence then, but it doesn't look good for them at the moment.
I think what he should have done was instead of getting Kudus and Kolonwani and Simmons and all those people, he just
Yeah.
went and got Mbeumo Wissa back to the drawing board for him because this is not working out for him. He can actually get
Well,
fired
yeah, well, and
maybe before on a slot.
Mbeumo's doing good at United, and Risa has yet to come back. So we'll see how his career, pans out at Newcastle. So
Yeah. But Nick, like we mentioned, he got an assist. So, and Gordon got a PK, and Bruno scored a goal as well. Romero came in the late winners. But I mean, the late goes to tidy for Spurs to pick up a point.
mhm.
Next, we have Forest going away to Wolves. And,
Yeah.
Wolves are so bad that it doesn't even need a lot of time.
Any, anybody can beat Wolves this season.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say Wolves are going now.
Yeah. Because they're winless in their last.
It's over.
They haven't won in the last 10 games.
Don't even worry about it. It's over for them.
They tied Spurs, they tied Brighton, and lost the rest. But yeah, Wolves, they gotta do something. Crystal Palace won 1-0 against Burnley. Munoz with the goal. Villa, ho, ho, ho. Another high scoring game.
Yes, yes.
Played Brighton. Villa
Mhm.
was down, but rallied up to beat Brighton 4-3.
Oh, 4-3, yeah.
4-3.
Yeah, I think obviously Brighton is always very offensive team. Um,
Mhm.
they're like their philosophy is not based on defense, obviously. So I mean, sometimes when they do take the lead, they allow other teams to come back. So,
Yeah,
but obviously Aston Villa's in good form, and I think the coach has them going and kicking, and Watkinson's getting back to his best form. So it's nice to
picking
see
up
him
some
kind of
form
get
right now.
back,
Yeah.
yeah, get back to where he was at before last season. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they keep it up and not drop like Liverpool did. But the next game was Arsenal taking on Brentford. Now,
Yes.
Arsenal rested a lot of players. Ben White
Mhm.
came in the side. Madueke started.
No, no.
Odegaard was in there. Mosquera came off injured. Martinelli played. A lot of changes, but still same old Arsenal scoring from set piece and whatnot. Actually, this was a set piece. It was a header, but
Mm,
you know they
yeah.
doing the business. Saka or Madueke, it doesn't matter. That flank is still a threat. Timber out, White in,
Mhm.
threat. Uh, now injuries.
Yes.
It's the first to get injured. Today was Mosquera.
Yes.
The game before was Saliba.
Yes.
You know, so is it that they are getting too many minutes that they can cope, or they're training too hard on in the training ground that they're getting injured when they play?
It's hard to say, but it is concerning when your players are dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
I know if Gabriel he got injured in international duty,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, maybe it's the training, um, but we will never know. But no team plays free of injury, so maybe hopefully they can overcome this and just keep their players fit. But obviously they have a big squad for this type of reason, and like you said, they're able to make a lot of changes and still relatively get that 3 points. And
Yeah.
the optics of how it looks like they look like they're champions, to be honest.
Yeah. But hopefully they don't let that get to their head and drop the level, because there are teams hunting them down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's very hard to be in first place the whole season, especially from now to like March or April. But that's just the focus that you will need to have to be a champion. So, I mean, yeah, I think they have the squad to do it. They have the squad depth. The only thing concerning the injuries are concerning because it's like every other game. So they gotta fix that. Whether it's too much training or whatever the doctor's not prescribing the right medication for them or whatever, they gotta figure it out. So
That's facts. Now we have Liverpool taking on Sunderland, and
mhm.
yeah, Sunderland, they're not here to play.
Yeah, Sunderland's impressive. They're a very impressive team, to be honest. Each game they play is competitive, and they beaten some bigger teams,
Mm-hmm.
which you be like, wow. And they're not laying down for anybody, so they're very enjoyable to watch. Obviously, the main concern with them is they're gonna lose a chunk of their team once AFCON comes around, so that's
Yeah.
definitely gonna affect their season.
Yeah. But um on in this game, Liverpool, they really didn't
That, yeah,
they really didn't do anything. You would even
yeah.
Isak played. he scored in the last game and you wouldn't even know he was in the game.
Yeah.
It
It's
came on, he had a chance to win it, but I guess it was still fresh.
yeah,
So it may,
definitely a lot of things going on with Liverpool, man. Hopefully they get it right because there's a huge expectation for them to kind of just win the league, but nothing's ever promised like that. So
yeah, I feel like this Liverpool side, the issue with them right now is the center backs.
or not to.
I feel like they need two new center backs. It's time for the last time we said Salah time is up. I think Van
Yeah.
Dijk time is up too.
Yeah, it's definitely hard because he's been so terrific, but I think this year a lot of players are kind of going after him, and a lot of mistakes or even like deflections kind of happen on him. So right now, he's got to pick up his form. I think once Van Dijk picks up his form, that will help the whole back line.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully. But shout out to Vert. He had a really good game. He actually got a goal, but deflection. So they kind of make
Yeah,
it create their own goal. So let's kind of hope that next game he kicks on and helps Liverpool win. But
yeah,
yeah, now we have Chelsea, who I kind of think are the Robin Hood of the Premier League because they do so well against the big boys and drop the level
hmm yeah.
against
Um,
these lower teams and give them free
yep,
points.
yep. That goes back to consistency. If you're going to be like a champion or anything, you have to be consistent. You can beat big teams and lose to little teams and vice versa. You just have to be consistent in each and every game and show the optics of it. So the optics of it doesn't, look so good. Because if you have ambition to win the league, you're gonna lose confidence in them
Yeah.
watching that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Maresca gets it right in this game. But tomorrow we have Manchester United versus West Ham. Let's see how that goes. But that's all we have for you today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.